there will come a day when we won't have to worry anymore. And I fear that day is coming, and we won't be ready for it. There will come a time when no amount of metal in a man, with no degree of level in this land, keep him steady.
Welcome to the Jacob Edwards Library. My name is Stephanie Sear, and I am the Adult and Teen Services Librarian here. We have a special night of music ahead of us as we welcome Mark Mandeville and Raianne Richards and their bandmates. Both artists are products of Central Massachusetts mill and factory towns, and for all their national exposure, they are passionately dedicated to the region and what it has to offer. Each summer for the past decade, they have organized the Massachusetts Walking Tour, where they hike the roads and trails of the Commonwealth, more than 100 miles in less than 2 weeks, in support of the arts and local communities along the way. Each evening, they stop over at another Massachusetts town, putting on a free concert there, along with local performers and fellow artists who accompany them on their journey. Tonight's program is sponsored by the Southbridge Cultural Council and the Friends of the Jacob Edwards Library. The Southbridge Cultural Council is a local agency funded by the Mass Cultural Council, a state agency. A big thank you to Southbridge Community Television for recording tonight's performance as well. Please join me in welcoming our performers.
Thanks for coming. It was a stellar introduction. Thank you very much. I always feel like it's important to mention that Raianne and I, when we first met, we started working at a factory in this town. We worked at Hyde Tools for many, many years.
Right over there?
Right over there. And that's important to mention, I think. Probably bring it up again. I used to work at the YMCA too, here in Southbridge.
One of the last times we were here, some other Mandevilles came because they wanted to see if they were related to Mark.
They didn't really care if we were musicians or not. They just came because we shared the last name, and they were curious as to whether or not we were related. And we're not. On the surface.
Whatever gets you through the door, I guess.
Yeah. People come to these things for so many reasons, you know. We're glad you came. Thanks for coming. When I see you on stage, it makes me tremble, 'cause the days they're never coming back again. The time she's a cruel old song, whose notes are just like smoke on the wind. Time is sand between your fingers. Time says that old cliche, and the hands go round, and the train is bound to roll where the tracks do lay. And all the ties were laid, all the mights and the maybes won't swing them members back again. If there's a stillness in your mind on a clear, cool night, you'll fade in the faintest echo of life. Time is sand between your fingers, graying by. Time says that old cliche, and the hands go round, and the train is bound to roll where the tracks do lay. cliche, and the hands go round, and the train is bound to go where the tracks do lay. Go where the tracks do lay.
Does everything sound okay? Nice. We set all this stuff up. We probably could have just not have done that.
It's nice to know that our efforts are being rewarded. So yeah, it's a little sad. Usually Margaret is here to introduce us. I'm sure you guys all know who she is if you come to this library. But she is sick today. But she could tell you that she has seen every iteration of a band that Mark and I have been in. She's been supporting our music for the last like 15 years. So yeah, it's really nice. You don't often come across people like that right in your local community, because the three of us live right in Webster. So even though she's not here to hear us, I just want to make sure that she's aware that we really appreciate that she's been with us for that long and that she continues to bring us here.
I used to work at a summer camp in Charlton, and I used to take care of her son. He once climbed up a chimney.
Yeah, apparently he was memorable.
Inside a building. Yeah.
While you were taking care of, huh?
Yeah, we were novices back
Really good
then.
at it.
We used to get sort of like an alarm over the system, like,
Johnny's in the chimney.
Johnny's in the chimney.
Yeah. And Mark did the ropes course. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. This is about taking time to recognize time as it goes by. And it's called Hang On to the Day. Hang on to the day, and how we often wait for tomorrow to come. And by then it's much too late, for all the sons and daughters have packed and gone away. Everything you meant to say was a ton too many times. Hang on to the day, be the point I try to make this time. Hang on to the day, and quit your lonesome ways, and let sleeping dogs lie. 'Cause in the great by and by, with uncertainties ahead and what's determined far behind, everything you meant to say, your words to not escape your mind. Hang on to the day, be the point I try to make this time. Awful waste to let any second slide. 'Cause all we have is time, and all the gold won't buy, as if by absurd design. Now minutes ticked away like hammers on a chain gang line. Hang on to the day, be the boy that tried to make. Hang on to the day, be the boy that tried to make this time.
So last night we were out at a library in Longmeadow, Mass. And this woman came up to us and said, "Well, this is the perfect place for you to play." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, well, first of all, it's very nice to see some young people really putting thought into the lyrics of their songs and really putting some focus on that. But you're here at the library, where everyone else who comes here loves words too." I was like, "You're onto something, lady. You're right."
We play a lot of libraries all over the place. Anyway, so
I like libraries.
Raianne started doing something. We're all music teachers except for Pete. Pete is, well, he's a teacher too,
Yeah.
but he's an amplifier repairman at a school we work at, Blackstone Valley Music in the center of Uxbridge. Doug owns that business, and Raianne and I are lucky enough to teach there. And this past summer in June, right when we finished this year's walking tour, Raianne started teaching a ukulele group at the Northbridge Senior Center.
Yes, it is wildly popular. They had 22 people enroll in this class. Yeah, it's a big group.
Yeah, she came
But we're
home.
doing good. We're getting through what we need to get through, and I've given them hope that they, someday might sound as good as I sound on the ukulele, but that they got to work up to that. But most importantly, it's just really nice to see folks who, I don't know, I don't think any of them thought they'd be able to do it. And now that they can do it a little bit, they're really opening up.
She says that's what they said after the first day she taught. She said it was just a lot of older people saying, "You want me to do what?"
The whole entire class. But then by week 2, we were singing "This Land Is Your Land" together and playing it. So, I mean, that's progress, right? But yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to learn something new at any age, but the older you get, the more difficult it is because your brain is so full of crap. You gotta push some of that stuff out, let the music in.
Sad truth.
Yeah.
But now everybody at Southbridge Public Access is going to know about these truths too.
So this next,
You choose to play with older people, is that correct?
yeah.
We know firsthand. All
So
right.
this next song, I literally wrote the music to the song because I wrote a cool ukulele riff and I wanted to use it. So we're trying to segue from senior citizens learning to that. It's called "Don't Ever Stop Believing." Don't ever stop believing.
song in C. This is a song that is a list of things that won't be written on my grave. It's a bright and shiny, happy song. I'll get into that a little bit later. And 1, 2, 3. It won't be written on my grave that I was idle. It won't be written on my grave that I was young. It won't be written on my grave. Like the lines upon my face will be written all the same. No, it won't be written on my grave. No, it won't be written on my grave. These hands are empty. Won't be written on my grave that these hands were clean. Won't be written on my grave. Like the lines upon my face will be written all the same. No, it won't be written on my grave. Through the looking glass world, like the weatherman's words, roll the dice in. In the bond that does bind us like a tug of war keeps tightening, and some are bound to fall to one side. It won't be written on my grave that I was frightened. Won't be written on my grave I wasn't scared. Won't be written on my grave. Like the lines upon my face will be written all the same. We won't be written on my grave. Weatherman's words, roll the dice in. In the bond that does bind us like a tug of war keeps tightening, some are bound to fall to one side. It won't be written on my grave. No, it won't be written on my grave. No, it won't be written on my grave. No, it won't be written on my grave. This is one that we played on the walking tour this year. Walking tour was in its 10th year. It's the 10th year we walked across the state of Massachusetts and organized free community concerts for everybody. We visited 103 towns in the state and put on over 121 of these concerts. That seems like a lot.
Well, the walking tour has come to Southbridge in the past. We've done a concert here where we played at the Black Tavern Barn in Dudley, up on the hill where Nichols is, and we walked all the way over here and did a concert. Then we walked to StopBelieving, and then we just kept on going.
At least it was downhill.
Yeah, some years, not every year. We did the Miss-8 Trail one year, and we started at the southern end and walked from Douglas up to Ashburnham, which doing it that way, by the way, is mostly uphill.
Wow.
If you start at the top, you're going down most of the way, except for up and over Mount Wachusett. But yeah, definitely recommend start in Ashburnham.
Yeah, we pick a lot of walking songs for these concerts that we do, and this is a new one that we did this year. It's called Wayfaring Stranger.
I am a poor wayfaring stranger, a traveling through this world below, but there's no sickness or danger in that bright land which I go. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there no more to roam, just a going off Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm a poor wayfaring stranger, a traveling through this world below, but there's no sickness or danger in that bright land which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm just a going off Jordan. I'm just a going over home. I'm just a going over home.
Thanks a lot. We didn't write that. It's a really old song. This one Raianne did write. This one is about sort of our experience of working at Hyde Tools and our romanticism about factory life in New England and how it built up all these towns in our central Massachusetts area. We worked with a lot of people who thought it was crazy that when the weekend came, you know, they bought themselves 30 rack cases of beer and sat down and watched a game. And that's all they did all weekend long. And we would get in the van and drive halfway across the country to play a gig and then drive all the way home.
So who's smarter?
I don't think anybody's smarter. I just think people have different
We enjoyed
priorities.
the shock on their face when they said, "What'd you do this week?" I'm like, "Well, we drove all the way to St. Louis and back because we had gigs." And they were like, "You did what?"
Why'd you do that? People have different
Did any of
priorities.
you work at a factory? Or otherwise?
Dexter Russell.
Okay, nice, yeah.
You, one of your neighbors.
Was once part of the, well,
Yes.
Hyde and Dexter were part of the same family, and now I think Hyde's kind of gone off on their own.
I think there's an entire generation of people that have mahogany handled steak knives in their house. And it's directly because
Yeah.
of Dexter Russell.
We have some of those Dexter knives.
I think everybody who got
Very
married
nice.
in the 70s around
Yeah.
here has a
Do
set
they
of
still have the little shop?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, the second store.
We still have the knives.
I gotta go visit
I
that
inspected
place.
them.
You did?
I think that's the thing though, because if you went to like Utah, I don't think you'd find a whole set of Dexter Russell steak
Probably
knives.
not.
But
Probably not. But
around
they're
here,
in
for sure.
abundance around here. So Mark worked in shipping, but I worked in assembly at Hyde's.
nice.
And I made a lot of tools while I worked there. Thousands and thousands of tools passed through these hands. But, you know, we don't have the same fortitude maybe as you folks did, because we couldn't stay there, you know, and like Mark's got a relative that worked there for 40 years.
I put in 7.
Yeah.
That was enough to get my 401k. But I wasn't cut out to do that sort of thing, but it
Yeah.
doesn't change the fact that I respect a lot of people who did spend their entire life doing that. And also the reverence to the fact that a lot of our towns have been built up by the presence of the factories and because of industry. And now we're sort of living in these towns and all that architecture is still around, but you kind of wonder, why are we here? What are we doing? Anyway.
So the song is for you guys. It's called That Old Machine.
Here you go, Pete.
Set free. Say all the work has gone away, someplace overseas. How I love that old machine. Close are the doors, gone are the days. You could just work hard for an honest day's pay. Close out the doors, gone are the days. Stitch at stitch and feed the mind. You do your part, and I'll do mine. We'll get that order done in no time. Stitch at stitch and feed the close are the doors, gone are the days. You could just work hard for an honest day's pay. Close out the doors, gone are the days. Close are the doors, gone are the days. You could just work hard for an honest day's pay. Close out the doors, gone are the days. You could just work hard for an honest day's pay. And close our doors and gone are days.
Thanks a lot. I was glad about that lady yesterday night. She came up to Raianne right after we played and said that she recognized the fact that we wrote words and spent time on the words in our songs. And I think that's important. It's really nice.
I'm also happy to report, up until recently, we had at least one friend who still worked at Hyde's. And and things were a little bleak over there for a while, but they're doing good. They're doing good. Their industrial blades is kind of like the bulk of their business now, so they make like big giant saw blades that process like rubber for tires and
Chicken,
fish sticks.
not the same blades.
What you would use to make fish sticks, like that kind of a blade. But they also, when they decided that a lot of the tools they were not going to be able to manufacture here because they couldn't keep that going, a lot of them they sent the machinery up to Canada, and they've actually brought some of them back, and they're starting to get people in there making tools again. So that's exciting, right? But you know, part of the reason they're able to do that is because they've left the group and they went off on their own, and I guess whoever is managing it now is trying to make the best decisions they can to keep the business going, and obviously what they're doing is working.
I hope all of this is close enough to the truth, because again, Southbridge, public access. Somebody from Hyde's at least is going to recognize that there's some young whippersnappers here at the Jacob Edwards Library.
We're hearing this
talking up Hyde
secondhand.
tools.
We're hearing this secondhand from a now former employee of Hyde's, but I don't know, to us it was really nice to hear. It was nice to hear that things are happening there again, and that business employed a lot of people and a lot of families over the years. So hopefully that legacy can continue.
The song is about the world changing from underneath your feet and you being happy you're not about it. It's called That's the Way It Goes. So you're running out of options, like you're running out of land to put your feet down on. And the world don't appear to you the same as it had a turn to gold. Well, seasons have a way with appearances, so sing fine will know. That's the way it goes. Say the grass is always greener, and the sun and sky ain't meaning to be taken sides. And all we decide, and the words we define, much like a river flows. Well, the bottom will rise up with disturbances, so seek to find will know. That's the way it goes. Designed to be against the side by the coming tide. Is a whim a better choice to dive beneath the foam and come up miles offshore? Well, it's easy to be clothed in indifferences, so often I will sow. That's the way it goes. 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 This next song is a brand new song, and it's about, we have a whole new album coming out. We're finishing it up, I think in a couple weeks it'll be done, being recorded and mixed and all that good stuff, and then it's going to come out next year. It's probably our most wordy album yet. And this song is called There Will Come a Day. And the whole premise of this song is sometimes tragedy, sometimes things we don't expect to happen will be the thing that sends you in a really good direction sometimes. You wouldn't want those things to happen, so you'd never imagine them to be. But then they happen. There's no avoiding it. And sometimes we're made better by those things. Anyway. Or take whatever you'd like from the song. That's what I meant. It says a lot of other things too, but it's called There Will Come a Day. There will come a day when we won't have to worry anymore. And I fear that day is coming, and we won't be ready for it. There will come a time when no amount of metal in a man, will no degree of level in this land will keep him steady. There will come a day, there will be a time in a place you least expected, and you never thought you'd find. There will come a day, there will be a time, a graceful frozen moment for no reason and no rhyme. There will come a day, there will be a time. As it may, not for lack of signals or signs, all the ancient meditations, old-time religion or science, man will find a way to build a better castle out of sand, until another casts a shadow down and renders dark and different plans. There will come a day, there will be a time, in a place you least expected, and you never thought you'd find. There will come a day, there will be a time, a graceful frozen moment for no reason and no rhyme. There will come a day, there will be a time. There will come a day, you just let the cards lay where they land, a bad beat folded in your hand, you go out empty. And there will come a time where the means won't mean an end, a step towards a start to warmer climes and much brighter days ahead. There will come a day, there will be a time, in a place you least expected, and you never thought you'd find. There will come a day, there will be a time, a graceful frozen moment for no reason and no rhyme. There will come a day, there will be a time. This next song, we played the Storrs Public Library last night in the center of Longmeadow, Massachusetts, and we've walked on the walking tour through Longmeadow twice now. And the first time we did it was in 2013, I think. And Raianne wrote the song on the Common after we'd finished a walking tour. And it's very much about the walking tour. This year was really special. This year it felt like the walking tour finally did the thing we imagined it to do. Every day we led guided hikes. We had people join us every day. And there was young children and older people and people, middle-aged people, all sorts of people, and they were all walking together in the woods, and it was fantastic. And in the evening we had concerts, and it was the same thing. We had a lot of younger people, a lot of older people, and everyone was talking and getting along great. And it was just really nice to see. And I think Raianne mentions a lot of stuff like that in this song. It's called One More Mile. I couldn't tell you how many miles we've walked since 2010, but it'd be a really big number.
We'll figure we cover usually about 100 a year or more. Times 10. Yeah, I bet if we haven't cleared 1,000, we're pretty close. And that's just, you know, all I can remember is what our hikes were. Never mind all the, oh, we want a coffee, let's walk over here and get a coffee. And oh, we need to walk back to where we're sleeping tonight.
File those as miscellaneous
Because
miles.
we literally just walk for the entire 2 weeks. We don't really take rides, so a lot of walking.
One more mile.
Lay this burden down. Just one more mile go.
We should probably make some noise for these people. I always put that B-flat harmonica in the rack for that song because when Raianne and I go on tour, we tour just the two of us. But I always forget Doug plays the harmonica on that song. This is Doug Williamson on the upright bass and the harmonica and the little guitar and the mandolin and all sorts of things. I always forget, just in case we doing harmonicas would not be a good sound.
I was wondering if you were going to start tooting or not.
Never. But it's a good habit to get into, is preparing for the next.
Live music. We're right on the edge of our toes here.
Yeah, and playing pedal steel and dobro on this side is Peter Hart.
Yeah.
We're going to do another song. This is a song that we didn't write, but we put in the set for the walking tour this year. We found it on we've been telling everybody that we drove you crazy with this song.
Yeah, so we heard it on a Gene Autry album, and then we were up at my grandmother who's here. We were at her camp in Maine, and we realized that it was on a collection that we have up there called Tumblin' Tumbleweeds by the Sons of the Pioneers.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, we have to do this song, so we must have listened to it like 40 times. And finally, my poor grandmother was like, "Can we please listen to something else?"
Sounds like you're going to hear it again.
Yeah. One more time. Just one more.
It's been a while, I do this.
One more time, anyway. So this is Twilight on the Trail. When it's twilight on the trail and I walk along, the world is like a dream and the ripple of the stream is my song. When it's twilight on the trail and I rest once more, my ceiling is the sky and the grass on which I lie is my floor. Never ever had a nickel in my jeans. Never ever had a debt to pay. Still I understand what real contentment means. I guess I was born that way. When it's twilight on the trail and my voice is still, please plant this heart of mine underneath the lonesome pine on the hill.
sad we couldn't get Pete to come out on the walking tour, but you know, I mean, that would be heavy to carry, don't you think? Oh, but it sounds so good on that song.
We only have a couple more songs. This one is on our Live in Manitoba CD. I don't know. We always love playing at the Jacob Edwards Library because they put all our CD discography on display.
So they have quite the collection, but since we've been here last, we have a new one. We also have just a handful of copies of live CD from the walking tour. We only produce 100 copies of that. That particular program was actually recorded during our trip on the Connecticut River, which was not this past June, but the year before. So there's a lot of river songs. We covered, I think, 2 John Hartford songs, because he likes to write about water. But it's a live concert, and it's great. And it has our friends Hoot and Holler on there, so there's banjo and fiddle and 4- and 5-part harmony singing, and just really, really nice stuff. And then the Live in Manitoba is just the 2 of us. And that's a live recording from our house concert tour that we did there.
You can't buy that
fall
stuff.
Of 2017.
There's 2 things on that table you can't buy, but you can rent it.
No
or
big plans.
take it out from the
An
library.
old Constitution we don't even have copies of anymore.
But see that red one on the far left, and I'm only looking at the ones with the library stickers on them.
Yeah.
The one on the far left was made in 2010, and that's when Raianne and I not only started the Massachusetts Walking Tour, but started touring together as a duo. So we're looking at this as sort of like a timeline of how we spent it. It's in the wrong order though. I'm not sure they realize. Yeah, we can. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Yeah, there we go. Now it's in the right order. It's 2010, 2011, 2014, 2016. And yes, we have a new album coming out next year in 2020. Wow. So this song is about doing things for a really long time.
It's going to be on the new record.
It's called As Long As It Takes. And it might be a real country song, I'm not sure. You could stay up all night, drinking that wine, dreaming up what could have been. It's deceiving at times, the trick of our minds, that the outcome had been different. Was it left or right? The dark is the night. How many choices are made? It's like rice in a bowl, the countless stories untold that could have turned out some other way. And we've been at this for a while, just as long as it takes. If the lessons of the past would just show clearly in the way that every stone cast set him meant to make. It takes so long, takes so long, takes so long, so long. Takes so long, takes so long, takes so long, so long. How many stars fall in the daytime sky? How many best wishes burn just as bright? Another one-hit wonder, another stolen thunder. It's high time that another light did shine. We've been at this for a while, just as long as it takes. If the lessons of the past would just show clearly in the way thought that you guys were here. Playing for nobody's a drag. People make mistakes. People can't see into the future. Yesterday we played at a public library. We already told you that. Earlier in the day they contacted us. This is a call you don't want to get. They said, we might have to reschedule your concert. Our library water has exploded. Our plumbing is in disarray. And I said, oh man, you know, we've been promoting this show forever. And then they gave us the call around 1 o'clock and said, it's on. And I would say, okay.
They got porta potties.
And they were the best ones. We went in there and they were really big.
They had put flowers in there.
They were,
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they were brand new, so they were like nice and clean.
Wow.
And, didn't even stink.
I don't know if you have friends like this though, but people who get notification by like public access or newspaper or Facebook or whatever in the middle of the day saying that something closed, they immediately make different plans. So we played for a very small amount
Yeah,
of
they
people on a lawn.
they sent out an email saying the library was closing because of the plumbing and all programs were canceled. So, and then at 3 o'clock they decided they were going to stay open, and they put that on Facebook, but they didn't email everyone again. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Probably wasn't smart.
We spend a lot of time thinking about how people behave. It's sort of like an artist's job. It can make your life really miserable if you focus on it too much. But there is a lot of people in this world that do really good things. And if you get caught up in watching the news too much, you forget how wonderful people are. I could tell you a bunch of stories about that, but I'm not going to. We're just going to play you this last song. It's called Digging Me a Hole. And if you like what you've heard tonight, please take a CD home with you.
Digging me a hole, no matter how deep. Clambering up a hill, no matter how steep. And I'll find me another at the bottom or the top. And we'll climb out together. Calling you bird, wings you fly. Calling you a skunk, stink at night. Calling me a man with hands and eyes. But to use these things, well, I've wondered why. Digging me a hole, no matter how deep. Clambering uphill, no matter how steep. And I'll find me another at the bottom or the top. And we'll climb out together. God give me a mouth to speak my mind, or did God give me ears to hear you all right? Did God give me hands to build and to fight, or did God give me an ass to sit? I'm digging me a hole, no matter how deep. Clambering uphill, no matter how steep. And I'll find me we'll climb out together. Thank you guys very much. There will come a day when we won't have to worry anymore. And I fear that day is coming, and we won't be ready.